Every gardener knows the satisfaction of pulling out a final harvest. The last ripe tomato is picked, the last cabbage is hauled from the bed, and honestly, the instinct is to clean up the soil. Out come the shovels, the tugging, the pulling, the uprooting of every last stalk and root until the bed looks tidy and bare. It feels efficient, as if you're preparing the soil for what comes next. But here's the problem. This one habit might be quietly robbing your garden of its fertility. By digging out tomato roots and cabbage stalks, you are removing natural systems that protect, feed, and structure your soil better than any store-bought amendment ever could. What looks like waste is, in fact, one of the most powerful free tools nature has already given you. Today we're breaking down why you should stop uprooting, what happens if you leave those roots and stalks in place, and how this one change can double the strength of your soil season after season. Tomato roots continue working long after harvest. Tomato plants may stop producing fruit at the end of the season, but their root systems remain biologically active even after the vines are cut down. These roots are more than just leftover tissue. They release natural compounds, such as solanine, which suppress harmful fungi and deter soil-borne pests. In effect, they create a built-in protective layer in the soil. When you cut the stems at the base and allow the roots to remain, they begin to decompose slowly. This process doesn't just feed soil microbes, it creates a lattice of hollow tunnels as the roots break down. Those channels act like natural irrigation pipes, improving drainage, airflow, and root penetration for whatever crop follows. For practical application, once tomato production is over, take sharp garden shears and cut the stems at ground level. Do not yank out the plant. Over the course of winter, the underground root system decomposes in place. By spring, the soil is, looser, easier to work with, and naturally infused with organic matter. The next crop, whether that's cucumbers, squash, or carrots, really benefits directly from this underground preparation. Unlike tomatoes, which send their energy into sprawling root systems, cabbages hold much of their reserves in their thick, fibrous stalks. These bases are not spent at harvest. They still contain minerals such as calcium, magnesium, and trace compounds that, never made it into the leaves. When left in the soil, these stalks act like buried slow-release fertilizers, gradually enriching the ground around them. The correct way to handle cabbages is to cut the stalk as close to the soil surface as possible. Use a sharp spade or even an axe for those tough bases, and resist the temptation to pry the roots out. Over time, earthworms and microbes will colonize the stalk, chewing through it and transforming it into soft, humus-rich soil. By spring, what once felt like a rock-hard stump will have melted into friable earth. For gardeners who want to speed the breakdown, a simple microbial solution works wonders. Mix 10 milliliters of an effective microorganism. Concentrate with 1 liter of water and pour it directly over the stalk. This inoculates the base with beneficial microbes that digest it faster, leaving you with ready-to-plant ground by the next season. Healthy soil depends on earthworms, and earthworms depend on consistent food. Roots and stalks left in the ground are perfect worm food. As they chew through dense cabbage stalks, worms create tunnels that aerate soil and improve water infiltration. Their castings, rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, are deposited right around root zones, exactly where crops need them. Tomato roots provide the opposite benefit. Instead of a solid meal, they offer pathways. Worms move through the hollow channels left behind, dragging organic matter deeper into the soil. In both cases, leaving these plant parts underground creates a natural cycle where worms do the heavy lifting, saving you the trouble of digging and fertilizing. The act of pulling out roots feels satisfying, but it works against soil health. When you rip roots out, you disturb soil structure, compact layers, and remove organic material that would otherwise break down naturally. Over time, this habit depletes organic matter, reduces microbial activity, and make soil less resilient. The result is a garden that becomes dependent on constant fertilizer applications just to maintain productivity. Leaving stalks and roots in place closes the nutrient loop. Plants spend a whole season mining minerals and nutrients from deep in the soil. When you discard their bases and roots, you discard those nutrients. But, when you leave them, you return those reserves directly to the topsoil, where future crops can access them. Another overlooked benefit of this method is how it pairs with crop rotation. After tomatoes, the soil becomes enriched with organic matter and naturally suppresses certain pests. This makes it an ideal bed for cucumbers, zucchini, and pumpkins, which thrive in loose soil with fewer disease pressures. Carrots also benefit because the decomposed tomato roots leave behind channels that make the soil easier to penetrate. After cabbages, the decomposed stalks leave the soil lighter and more fertile. Leafy greens like lettuce, root crops like beets, and bulb crops like onions respond especially well in these conditions. Instead of fighting compacted soil, they root freely into the softened ground, rewarding you with stronger growth and higher yields. The financial and labor savings are significant. By leaving tomato roots and cabbage stalks in the soil, you reduce your reliance on external fertilizers and pest control products. Over the course of a growing season, this can save gardeners substantial amounts of money. For small-scale market gardeners, these savings often add up to thousands in reduced input costs. Labor is also reduced. Anyone who has tried prying a cabbage stalk out of clay soil knows the effort involved. Cutting it at the base and letting microbes do the rest saves time, energy, and strain on the body. Over years, this habit compounds, turning your garden into a self-sustaining system rather than a constant battle. Plants are not waste machines. It may seem like a small decision whether to pull or to cut, but the outcome is dramatic. By keeping tomato roots and cabbage stalks in the soil, you gain healthier soil, stronger plants, and bigger harvests with less labor and less money. You also empower earthworms and microbes to perform the work nature designed them to do. So the next time you're tempted to clear your beds after a harvest, resist the urge. Leave those roots and stalks in place. Over time, you'll see how much richer, looser, and more alive your soil becomes. The rewards show themselves not only in better harvests, but in the resilience of your garden ecosystem. If this guide was valuable, don't forget to subscribe to Hydro Haven and share it with fellow gardeners. Together, we can grow thriving gardens by making small, powerful choices that align with nature.